Hello friends, in this video we are going to talk about time of supply under GST. So why this importance, why this is important under GST to talk about time of supply. Time of supply is nothing but knowing the liability of payment when the liability to pay the GST arises. For that time of supply is essential. Before moving to this time of supply concept, let us understand the key points involved in this knowing time of supply. For that, goods movement and goods no movement. And another point is that invoice and removal of goods in the cases of movement of goods, and where there is no movement of goods or there delivery of goods is important. Delivery of goods here refers to the goods received by the recipient and the turnover of the supplier. That is, if the turnover goes beyond 1.5 crores or it is below 1.5 crores, that point is important. And again, advance payment. The receipt of advance payment for the supply made by the supplier, that is important. So, to arrive the decision when to pay the GST for the supply made, these are all the points to be considered before fixing that date. That is, when the tax to be paid. Again, to repeat this, the more important points are movement of goods and no movement of goods, and invoice and the goods removal or recipient receipt of the goods, turnover of the supplier, and the receipt of advance payment. These are all the major points to be considered before deciding the time of supply. And to find that time of supply, again, there is one rule given, that is rather referred in section 31 and section 12 of CGST Act 2017. So, where it is said that this date of invoice or removal of goods is considered there, and again receipt of advance payment is mentioned. Receipt of advance payment here refers to the payment received by the supplier in this case. So, where the case of receipt of advance payment is happening before the payment is received by the supplier, then it should be considered, and the date of receipt of payment is the time of supply in those cases. Here, one more thing to be considered is if the supplier turnover goes beyond 1.5 crores, then this is considered. If the supplier's turnover is below 2 crores, that is say 1.5 crores for example, then this advance payment rule is not, provision is not considered for them. So again, to repeat this, to find the time of supply, the date of invoice and removal of goods or receipt of advance payment by the supplier, whichever is earlier. That is here important to note that whichever is earlier. If the advance payment is received earlier, then it is the time of supply, the date on which the GST has to be paid. If there is no cases where the advance payment is not involved, then the date of invoice and removal of goods is the date on which the liability arises. So this is the time of supply rule, which is given in section 31 and section 12. Section 31 is referred here for the invoice purposes and 12 for this time of supply purposes. To discuss on this timing of payment, here for example, if a person called S supplies goods to R on 30/11/2020 by raising an invoice, and the payment for that is received on 10/12/20, that is after the goods supply, the payment is received on 10/12/20 and there is no advance payment here, then here in these cases the time of supply is 30 November 2020, which is the invoice criteria. Based on this invoice criteria, the time of supply is arrived. If in this case, if the advance payment is there, then the date of advance payment is the time of supply. And we assume here is that turnover is going beyond this more than 1.5 crore. I hope you have understood the time of supply concept and when the liability to pay GST arises. Thanks for watching this video, and if you like this video, please share and subscribe. Thank you very much.